Hey viewers, welcome back to this YouTube channel, and it's Hamza Mir. My today's video is related with the same topic, that is the Unit 2 of your Pakistan Studies Geography P2, which is Climate of Pakistan. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss one of the topic of Climate of Pakistan. So let's see that what our today's topic is. So viewers, here we have the topic right there on the screen, that is the sources of rainfall in Pakistan. So let's start and let's see that what is the first source that we have over here. The number one we have is the conventional rainfall in Pakistan. Now before I move towards the diagram of this one, let me clarify a little concept. There are two kinds of air. Number one is the warm air, and number two is the cool air. Now when we talk about these two airs, warm air is the one which is lighter. That is why it started rising up. It always rises. On the other side, when we talk about the cool air is heavier. That is why it always sinks down, because it is heavier. Now this is a little concept that you people need to understand. First of all, that a warm air always rises and a cool air always sinks down. Moving back towards the topic, when we talk about the conventional rainfall in Pakistan, now this is something which is related with the summer season. When there are summers in Pakistan, the temperature obviously is high. Though when the temperature is high, the air is mainly warmer and it starts rising. Now let's see that with the help of a diagram. For example, this is our land surface, and the summers that have a warm air, so it started rising up in the form of currents. These currents are called as conventional currents. Another thing that you need to understand over here is that this warm air which is rising also have a high moist content, just because it has a very high moisture content in it. Now when this warm air rises to the higher layer of the atmosphere where the temperature is low, at that place another process occurs which is called as condensation. Now condensation means the formation of clouds. So when the condensation occurs and the clouds are formed, and when those clouds are unable to carry the water droplets, they throw them down to the surface in the form of rain. And just because this rain occurs because of the conventional currents, that is why this is called as a conventional rainfall. Now coming back to the topic, the Pakistan, when we talk about the conventional rainfall in Pakistan, so another thing that you need to understand over here is, first, that it always occurs in the north and the northwest of Pakistan. For example, the Pindi area, Rawalpindi or Peshawar, they receives the conventional rainfalls. On the other side, when we talk about the southern portion of Pakistan, it is mainly deprived with the conventional rainfall, and that is because of the temperature inversion layer, or you could say that it also because of the criss-cross system that we will discuss in the upcoming slides as well. Now this is the very first source of rainfall that we have in Pakistan, which is conventional rainfall. Moving towards the second source of rainfall we have over here is the relief rainfall, another type of rainfall. Now this is something which is related with the height, means the reliefs. So when we talk about the relief rainfall, this is something which is related with the barriers. This barrier can be a mountain, a scarp edge, a ridge, it could be anything. So when a wind comes from this side, and just because it's a warm wind and it is lighter, it started rising up with the barrier towards the upper side. Now when it reaches again to that level which we discussed in the previous diagram as well, the higher layer of the atmosphere, that is called as the condensation level. I have to write it again. We have seen that in the previous diagram as well. The condensation level, when the air reaches to that condensation level, again the formation of clouds occur, and this portion or this side of mountain would receive the rainfall, and this side would be dry, or you can also call it as the rain shadow area. Now this one would be the rain-fed area, and this is a rain shadow area. Just because the wind is coming from this side, so this one is also called as a windward side, and this one would be called as leeward side. Now just because this is something which is related with the altitude areas of Pakistan, which is the one receiving the relief rainfall, because they have the highlands or the relief such as mountains, peaks or ridges. So they are the one which receive the relief rainfall. Moving towards our third source of rainfall in Pakistan, we have over here is the monsoon winds, a very important one related to the paper point of view. When we talk about monsoon word, the monsoon is something which is a fifth season in Pakistan. When we talk about the seasons, it is summers, winters, autumn and spring. The fifth one we have over here is the monsoon season. So when we talk about the monsoon winds, these are the winds which are the seasonal winds that blow during summer and winter. So let's see that. When we talk about the summer monsoons are the one which are coming from southwest in Pakistan, and the winter monsoon are the one which are coming from the northeast of Pakistan. Now this portion over here is the southwest portion of Pakistan, and that is the northeast portion of Pakistan. Let me clarify this one, and let me take you towards a very important concept first of all. Then I'll move back towards this diagram again. Before this one, you need to understand two things. One, the sea to land movement of wind. The movement of wind from sea to land, and the movement of wind from land to sea. You'll understand in a couple of minutes. For example, when we talk about summers, and we know the temperature is high, and if you remember the previous video of the factor that was affecting the temperature in Pakistan, I've discussed that the land area and the water body area. In summers or when there is a heat, the land area would get warmer quicker as compared to the water body. So the temperature over here would be high and the temperature on the water body would be low because it takes more time to get warmer. Now one more concept that I need to add over here is wherever you have a high temperature, that area would have a low pressure always, and when we have a cool temperature, that area would have a high pressure. And make sure one thing, that wind always move from high pressure area to a low pressure area. Now as you could see in this scenario, the land area have a high temperature and the water body have a low temperature, and this area obviously would have a low pressure. On the other side, the low temperature means the cool one would have a high pressure area. So as I said, it always moves from high to low. So the movement of the wind in summer would be from sea to land, this one. It is that simple. Now movement is from sea to land because it is having a high pressure area, and on the other side, because of the high temperature, this is the one which is having a low pressure area. Now coming back towards the second one, the winters. When we talk about winters, again the land and the water body. Now the heat is releases, and as I said previously, the land area would release the heat quicker as compared to the water body. So this area, the land area, would have a cool temperature. On the other side, the water body would take more time to get cooler. It would have a high temperature. Again, apply the same thing. The high pressure would be over here in this cool temperature area, and the low pressure would be here in the high temperature area. And as I said, it moves from high to low. So this time in winters, the movement of the wind would be from land to sea. That is your summers. The movement is from sea to land because of this scenario. And that is your winters. The movement is from land to sea because of this one reason. Now let's apply this one on the diagram. Now when we have summer monsoons, and as I said, in summer the movement is from sea to land, so the movement would be from this area southwest towards the land area of Pakistan. And as we know that this is Arabian Sea, the movement is from the sea to land, and this area would receive a heavy rainfall because the rain or the wind is mainly coming from the water body. Another one or another origin of the summer monsoon is this portion, that is the Bay of Bengal. When we talk about this area, the movement would be from sea to land in summers, as I said. So this would be from this side, like this over here. It would be from Bay of Bengal, northern India, reaches towards Pakistan, and reached until this portion, that is the northern Punjab area. So just because of the sea to land movement, Pakistan received monsoon in summers from Arabian Sea and from Bay of Bengal to the southern part of Pakistan and to the northern part of Pakistan until northern Punjab, where it would receive a heavy kind of rain because it is coming from the seaside, from the water body. Same like that, let me clear that. When we talk about the winter monsoon, which is from northeast, and as I said, in winters the movement is from land to sea. So this is a northeastern side of Pakistan, and the movement would be from the land area towards the sea. Now this one is coming from a land area. This would not create any kind of a significant change because they originate from a dry area. It's not a water body area. It is coming from a land area. So this is a simple concept that we have over here related with the monsoon winds. If you need to understand the origin of the monsoon, the first one I've discussed over here is the Arabian Sea, because in paper you have one question related with the origin of monsoon, and the second one would be from the Bay of Bengal, in which I've mentioned the rain comes from the Bay of Bengal towards the northern India, towards Pakistan, and reaches until the northern Punjab. This is one we have related with the monsoon wind in Pakistan. Moving towards the four sources of rainfall in Pakistan, that one we have over here is the Western Depression. Now as you could see one complete picture of a world map over here, and this is the location of Pakistan. Let me clarify the proper location of Pakistan first of all, because we cannot show the location of Pakistan like this over here the way it is on the map, as we have to make a complete map of Pakistan including Kashmir. Even the government have announced a new map of Pakistan right now. Well, moving back towards the Western Depression. So Western Depressions are the cyclones which originates from the Mediterranean Sea. What are these? These are basically the cyclones, and these cyclones are originating from this part of the world, that is the Mediterranean Sea. Let me write it over here. Mediterranean Sea. This is the place from where the cyclones originate, and they move towards Pakistan, and they entered in the west part of Pakistan from two countries. Number one we have over here is Afghanistan, from where it enters into Pakistan, and the second one we have is Iran. Now that is the portion that we have, Afghanistan and Iran. So from this portion they entered into the Pakistan. Moving towards the next slide with the complete proper map of Pakistan, let me clarify one more thing over here. Here you could see the position of Peshawar, right? So after striking the northwestern areas of Pakistan such as Peshawar and the northern Pakistan, the winds they move towards west and southwestern part of Pakistan. This portion and the southwestern part of Pakistan. And when we talk about the southwestern part of Pakistan, this is the area which is basically receiving the maximum rainfall in December. Quetta is the one which receives most of the rainfall in winter seasons, means in December. This is a place which is receiving more rainfall in winters because of the Western Depression. So this is one example that we have over here. When we talk about this one, this is the place from where it enters, that is Afghanistan and Iran, from where the Western Depression are coming and originating from the Mediterranean Sea, as I've showed you over here in this diagram as well. Now this is something we have related with the Western Depression, which is another source of rainfall in Pakistan. Moving towards our last source of rainfall in Pakistan, we have over here is the fifth one, that is the tropical cyclones. Now when we talk about the tropical cyclones, there are few things that you need to understand. Number one, these are the one which mainly bring a few hours of rain. The rain is mainly of few hours, but this rain is very much heavier, means a heavy rainfall and very destructive one. Now this is something which originates from the Arabian Sea, the southern part of Pakistan, the coastal area. The Arabian Sea is the one from where these cyclones are originated. They are mainly for very few hours but very heavy and destructive. Another thing that you need to understand over here, that they rarely reach to the coastline of Pakistan, and that is usually once in a year. Now this is something you people need to understand. Tropical cyclones originating from Arabian Sea to the coastal areas of Pakistan, they are very heavy, and but they are for very few hours but very much destructive. They are rarely reach to the coastline of Pakistan, only once in a year, but whenever they reach to the coastline, they are very much destructive and create destruction on the coastline of Pakistan. Now this is it. We have the last source of rainfall over here, that is the tropical cyclones, which are the one which brought the rainfall, which is totally unreliable both in terms of when and where on the coast it would occur. Now that's it for today's topic. Please kindly don't forget to subscribe the channel, and if you think that the video was useful, please kindly do mention that in the comment box. Do like the video and keep watching. Until next time, Khuda Hafiz.